Okay, so I think I'm going to choose number 3. The captain stood at the helm of the ship, gazing into the maw of the storm. The crew scurried about, securing lines and battening hatches, but he remained still, a stoic figure against the cable. Steady as she goes, he murmured. Though his voice was almost lost in the wind's howl, there was a light in his eyes that spoke of battles above, the sea that not even the fury of the heavens. Okay, so said we start with, what emotions do you infer the main character is experiencing? What specific words or actions in the text lead you? So I'm just going to copy this text here. So let us discuss. We're going to discuss this, but like, I want you guys to add your answer as you need or whatever. But I am doing my version of it, okay? And like I always say to you guys, I want you to understand that my version is not the only way of doing it, but I've just built the confidence in it. Okay. Before I'll say, sorry, I needed to send my son out. Okay. So what I always tell everyone is that I have built the skills. Now, when I was 15, I was not brilliant at English. Okay. I still don't think I'm brilliant at English. I mean, I finished school with a better vocabulary than anyone I knew until I met Katoshka. Have you guys ever heard Katoshka speak? It really is quite something to behold. Like, I don't want to, like, she doesn't usually show her intelligence in conversations. Like, she does show it, but it is very intimidating to me. Um, like, you need to understand that Katoshka is like legit a genius, not like, oh my gosh, that person's a genius. Like, IQ wise, she counts as a genius. Okay. Now, in terms of my intelligence, I am not a genius. I am above average. I'm higher than just normal above average, but I'm not like some kind of prodigy. My son scares me. He genuinely scares me with how intelligent he is. But still, he is not as intelligent as my wife in terms of base IQ. You know what I mean? So when I approach things like this, the reason I'm telling you this is when I approach things like this, I don't want you to see it as I must do it like Marines. The reason I have gotten good at most of the things I do is because I have worked at it very, very hard. And not even intentionally. If you read my emails that I sent out last November and compare them to my emails that I send out now, you will see there is a huge discrepancy in the quality of writing. And that is because I literally just spent December writing. I every day I wrote like 6,000 words. Not because I wanted a goal, but because I was having fun writing. And that's my goal for you guys. I want you to enjoy it. And so you've got your exam coming up. Lukanya, you're writing in May, right? Okay, but whenever you're writing, you've got your exam coming up. Okay, so yeah, so that's this exam session. You've got your exam coming up. you need to, in order to do well, my students who do well are those who let themselves go. Just get into a topic and go with it. Okay. So, I don't want you to compare yourself when I'm doing this. The captain stood at the helm. So, what emotions do we infer? So, the captain stood at the helm of the ship, gazing into the maw of the storm. So, in terms of my main character, I think maybe captain. We've got other characters. We've got the crew. We've got again the captain. He remains still. Okay, so I'm going to just bracket all the details about him. Usually I would just highlight this, but it's difficult. Yeah. So he stood at the helm of the ship, and he was gazing at the maw of the storm. Now, if I look at the word gazing, is gazing a scared sound? Like, are people scared if they're gazing at? So it's creating this image of the captain actually being this calm in the storm. The crew is scurrying about. So scurrying is associated with like bugs. And so the crew is scurrying about. And they're securing lines and they're battening hatches. But he's remaining still. A stoic figure against the chaos. And so what this is doing is it's creating a contrast. See that? We've got the storm versus the captain. You see that? Why do you think we've got this comparison, this contrast? Let's just show how calm the captain is, but if you are standing in the midst of a storm and you are standing still and stoic, what does that say about you? Okay, so we've got bravery. We've got courage. We've got fearlessness. I would say that it shows a lot of strength. Okay? And it kind of like puts him in this place of power. Okay. So steady as she goes, he murmured. Okay? So again, he's not shouting, he's murmuring. Okay? He's chilled. Though his voice was almost lost in. There was a light in his eyes that spoke of battles, love. That not even the fury of the heavens. Okay, so the light in his eyes. He's really doing what he loves. We see that. So after reading your selected text, what emotions do you infer the main character's experience? So I think the emotions that he's experiencing are peace, calm, and maybe faith. Like faith, it's not necessarily a faith in God, but like a faith that you're going to get through it. Possibly. You know what I mean? Okay. So So, what specific words or actions in the text led you to the conclusion? So, the specific words that led me to this was gazing. Let me write it out. Actually, supposed to be an N dash, not an M dash, but I don't know how to make M dash. N dash. Yes, Bugsy. So, okay, so this is the point that I'm making, right? Then I'm going to provide my evidence. Just give me a sec. This emphasizes a possible in his. You guys are welcome to answer this in your own way as well. Okay. From the text, I can infer that the main character, the captain, is calm and peaceful in the midst of the storm. While the storm rages, he gazes out at the storm, standing stoically. Okay, I'm actually going to explore this little gazing carries connotations of relaxation as one would gaze at the stars. Okay? Standing stoically while chaos erupts. I'm going to say stoically okay. So then I actually just was like open about the fact, sorry, strictly. So I was open about the fact that in another context, stoically could be stoically okay. Could be seen as like it could be seen as a negative thing because he could be like just trying to hold himself together, but here he's clearly not just trying to hold himself together because of um the rest of the piece, and specifically this juxtaposition of the peace versus chaos. Okay. So there is more that I can say, but that's all I'm going to say there. Do you guys have any questions on the method I use? Because what I'm trying to show you here is not the perfect answer. I am trying to show you a method for coming up with your own perfect. Do you guys want to see? You guys know I use, like, I'm really good at AI, right? Um, I use a lot of images, like all my images from my cat. But I just want to show you quickly. Okay. So let me show you what AI said. So the main character, the captain, appears to be experiencing a complex mix of emotions that includes calmness, determination, specific words and actions that led to this conclusion are as follows. Calmness and stoicism. The captain stood at the helm of the ship, gazing into the storm. Despite the impending storm, the captain is not hiding or showing signs of panic. Standing at the helm suggests a readiness challenge. The challenge is something I didn't identify. He remains still, a stoic figure against the chaos. So I focus on the word gazing. So he remains still, a stoic figure against the chaos. The word stoic directly indicates that he's enduring the difficulty without showing his feelings. Determination. Steady as she goes. The common nautical command implies that the captain wants current course despite the storm. It reflects his resolve to keep control of the situation. The fact that his voice is almost lost in the wind's howl, but he still speaks command, shows a quiet determination to respect and passion for the sea. There was a light in his eyes that spoke of battles past. This suggests that the captain has experienced and overcome challenges or could contribute to respect for the dangers and unpredictability of the ocean. A love for the sea that not even the fury of the heavens. This phrase explicitly states the captain has a strong affection for so much so that even a severe storm does not lessen. Okay. So I wanted to show you that so that you could see that, oh wait, overall the captain's demeanor and actions convey a sense of experience, leadership, reverence, maritime, even in the face of danger. He's presented as a seafarer, undaunted by embodying the resilience and often romanticized. Do you see how, yeah? No, you can like I looked at gaze because that's something that stood out to me. You can do paragraph phrases, sentences, um words. You should be doing all three. We're looking at specific words or actions. And so what they were looking at here, so they still looked at that sentence, but they were looking at the action rather than the word gaze. Standing at the helm, what effect does that make sense? Okay. So the thing is, there are multiple ways to approach a question. It's just finding a way that works for you. I personally, I don't always use this method where I break it down like this. It's just I'm very tired right now. Um, and so because of that, I needed to do something that was going to help me process what I was doing and think through what I was. And so I did it with a lot of like little brackets and things. But if I, let's say I was top of my game, ready for the day, I haven't done any lessons that day, and I was excited and ready to go, I would probably, or actually probably at midnight, um, I would find it a lot easier to do. And this is also something that I want to make you guys aware of. In your exam, it is very unlikely that you are going to be able to be your best self. I know that's a hard thing to come to terms with, but you're going to try your best. But you cannot assume that your exam represents your best. Does that make sense? But your exam is just a moment, and that moment could be a good day or a bad day. It could be a day where you have a migraine. So prepare for the fact that it's not about the exam, it's about the fun of learning. And when you can do that, then you get to the exam and you can let go of the results. Just focus on doing the work like you do in class. And you do your best. You know what I mean? And even if your best on that day is not your best overall, so what? Your marks do not determine your worth. Okay. So we want you to get straight A's. I do want you to get straight A's. But I also don't want you to get straight A's at the expense of your and start to assign value, like intrinsic value. At the end of the day, results are nothing. Yeah, I've never really been asked my. Nobody cares. Really, no one cares. Even university results, I thought it was so important to get distinctions for everything, but nobody cares. The only one who cares is me. Okay. That hectic. Okay, so when we're looking at mood or atmosphere, I just want to explain a couple of these. So when I'm looking at mood or atmosphere of the setting, I'm looking at the feeling that it creates. So mood is all about the feeling that is created. And atmosphere is also like the setting, the vibe that. Okay. And now there are details in the text that create this. It doesn't just happen. It's intentionally created. Okay. Make sense? Do you guys know what foreshadow means? Okay, tell me quickly, what is the effect of foreshadowing? Yeah. Yeah, like and sometimes foreshadowing is not something that you just like easily see. It's just like I think this might happen, but I don't know what things the writer did to make. And I don't know if you guys experience this, but um like these are short pieces. You don't have much context to go by, right? So here this type of question is just kind of like an educated guess. So for instance, this piece, something that's foreshadowed is I could say that something that's foreshadowed in this piece is that depending on like it could be foreshadowed. I could say maybe this um is that the writer is going to that the main character is going to go through some kind of tragic story where he's got this confidence now, but that confidence is going to die. Um he's going to start to hate the sea maybe. Saying not even the fury of the I think he's going to be attacked by guards because you are daring the fury of the hip. What I mean? You guys can submit your things, and then I will give you written feedback on what you've written, okay? Or what you've put. Okay. Yes. Uh, it's the one you guys were doing. By the way, you guys know that you can print these. No, I'm saying you can print them if you want. Like, if you want to print a lesson to keep for later, you can. Just at the bottom here, you press the print button. Press the print button, and then you right click. You say print. Cool. I will see you guys on the morrow. Bye.